Welcome back to Oklahoma Live. Well, we are so excited to talk to him. Always excited to have him in town, whether it's at Oklahoma or Oklahoma State. He is the host of ESPN's College Game Day. Kirk Herbstreit is live today from the National Guard Armory near Fort Campbell. Kirk Herbstreit, how you doing? It's an honor to have you on the show.
I am doing great. It's great to be with you.
Well, we've got football to talk about, obviously, but here in Oklahoma, we are big military supporters. We have Tinker Air Force Base right here in our hometown. So tell us what you're doing to help out the military.
Well, I'm outside of Fort Campbell, right on the Kentucky and Tennessee state line. And today it's a big day. I've been supporting Eckridge for a number of years now, and they're hosting a huge picnic today for the military families in this area. But more importantly is really just the initiative and what's happening with Eckridge and their relationship with Operation Homefront. It's been 3 years now that they've had that relationship. The last couple years, they've been able to generate over $500,000 of money to be able to give to Operation Homefront, an organization that's a nonprofit group that works tirelessly trying to help these military families and the men and women, and just the sacrifices that they make. And you know, they come back from serving. In many cases, they're struggling. They're struggling to pay their bills. They're struggling to find food. They're struggling with their car. Their housing is in a bad situation. So Operation Homefront is trying to reach out and help these families all across the country. And that's where Eckridge has really gotten involved. I mentioned the $500,000. They're hoping to generate another $250,000 this year to be able to give to Operation Homefront. Big way of getting there will be asking folks all over the country to go to your local grocery store and purchase specially marked Eckridge items. And just by purchasing those items, 5 cents for each purchase will go into this fund to be able to get us to $250,000. Another thing you can do is just by picking up your phone and texting the word INSPIRE, I-N-S-P-I-R-E, and the number you want to text that to is 27722, 27722. And by doing that, that's a $5 donation as well. So a number of different ways to get involved, and hopefully people feel this the same way I do about the military and the need that's out there.
Well, and I can tell you, having spoken with so many military families here in town, they obviously appreciate what you're doing as well. Well, speaking of town, I want to bring something up. We've all seen the video of you here in Oklahoma during an earthquake. I believe you've been here during 2 earthquakes. Tell us a little bit about that, the one we saw on live TV.
How about that, going to Oklahoma City and I'm 2 for 2 with earthquakes? I mean, I got to be the only guy in the history of Oklahoma City that's shown up, and both times I'm there's an earthquake. The first time, let the record show that reaction of my eyes that everybody likes to have fun with, that wasn't the earthquake. The earthquake happened while I was talking. It was my director in my ear as I'm on the 8th floor of the stadium there in Stillwater. He said, "Stay calm, but what you just felt was an earthquake." And my eyes were kind of to him like, why did you just tell me that? You know, because I had survived the earthquake. So that's what my eye reaction was to him. And then the next one happened, I think it was last year while we were there. So yeah, it's the craziest thing. So I will give everybody a fair warning the next time I get into the state of Oklahoma.
And believe me, we've all started getting a little more used to it, but we looked the exact same way the first time we felt them a couple of years ago as well. And real quick, I'm running out of time, but I want to ask you about the draft. It starts tonight, first round, second round, and third round are Friday night. Usually we see a lot of Oklahoma and Oklahoma State players going in the first and second rounds. Maybe not so much this year. What do you see some of the players from our state that we should look out for?
Well, I think Justin Gilbert's the guy that jumps out to me. I think he's got a chance to go really early. One of the top corners this year in the draft. Had just such an outstanding career for Oklahoma State. I've been so impressed with Mike Gundy and really the overall athletic department, the effort that they put into that football program. Obviously, T. Boone Pickens helps out, but I mean, they have become a legitimate program now where they stay in that 9, 10, 11 win mark almost every year. And that's when you know, when you have staying power, that's when you've really arrived. And I think Mike Gundy deserves a round of applause for his effort and his staff and what they've done there, because they're just not going away, and I don't think they will. And then Oklahoma, boy, what more can you say about Bob Stoops? just when it looks like Oklahoma was kind of flatlining a little bit those last 3 or 4 years. What a win in that Sugar Bowl against Alabama. The way the quarterback played, I think everybody's now excited about the 2014 season. It almost felt, standing on the sidelines that night, that Oklahoma played with a chip on their shoulder that I had not seen in years. And I hope for the Oklahoma Sooners and those players maintain that hunger and that attitude they played with that night, because if they play in 2014 the way they played that night, I don't think there's a team that can beat them. They played that well, so I'm anxious to see how they play this coming season. And the reason they're not heavily involved in this year's draft is they have so many of their players coming back this year that they don't have as many out there eligible for the draft.
Well, we really appreciate everything you're doing for the military families. Promise we will go and buy lots of Eckridge products and cook them up this summer. And hopefully we'll see you quite a bit here this fall with ESPN's College Game Day. Thanks, Kirk.
I sure hope so. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
There's plenty more ahead here on Oklahoma Live. Keep it right here on My KSBI.